The No Fate channel checking in, and I am getting old almost as quickly as my son is growing up. It's hard to believe that it is time for his first bicycle with training wheels. I thought this would make for a great opportunity to do an honest review of the Scwinn Koen boys bike that my wife and I got him for his upcoming birthday. Reason being, if you go on Amazon.com, if you look into this bike and try to find honest reviews, there's not many out there. Most of the written reviews on Amazon are either fake or they're just people with axes to grind. And I thought by doing a comprehensive review, it would give other moms and dads out there a much better and more accurate representation of how this bike is actually going to at least handle and what to expect when they buy this bicycle. So I'm going to go over why we chose this bicycle overall, the assembly process, because I was the one to actually have to put it together, as you can see, and how my son liked it as far as his first few uses on it, and my thoughts of if I would actually buy this bike again. I need to first give a huge thank you to my wife. When it came time to look for bicycles with training wheels for my son, she did almost all of the research. There's just so many different bicycles out there, ranging everywhere from like $50 all the way up to $2,000 for boys' bicycles. And it's a lot to take in. It's a lot to consume. And it's a big problem because obviously you want to get your son or daughter something that's going to last, something that they're going to be happy with, and something that they can actually grow with. But at the same time, hey, listen, they're kids. You know they're going to keep growing, and this isn't going to be their last bike that they own. So trying to break the bank on their first bike ever is really a waste of money. One of the main reasons we went with that Scwinn Koen boys bike is because it really gave the best of both worlds. We got the 18-inch bike, which is for 5 to 7-year-olds, which fits children 42 to 52 inches tall. And we paid $150 on Amazon. That price changes depending on which version of the bike you get. If you get a shorter bike, one that for younger kids, it costs a little less. If you get a taller bike, one with bigger wheels, it can cost a little more. And that's just how it is. But overall, $150 was on the lower end of the children's bikes. Another reason that we went with the Scwinn Koen boys bike is the fact that it came with a lifetime warranty. And obviously, Scwinn is a well-known named brand within the bicycle industry, at least for the non-informed consumer that I am. So if something should go wrong in the few years that my son is using this bike, hopefully I can call up and the company will either send me the correct replacement parts or just make the issue right with me, the consumer. Also, this bicycle is able to have interchangeable tires, which means right now it is 18 inches in terms of the tire diameter. If my son should have a growth spurt and need the next size up, it is with a small purchase, I can then transition this bike to the larger size tires and not have to shell out a whole nother $150 for a brand new bike. So that's obviously a nice product, a nice idea, a nice concept with the longevity of this bike, and hopefully something that my son can grow into. Another small perk with regards to this bicycle is that it is simply delivered right to your door, that free shipping from Amazon Prime. However, that also comes with the downside. It's not like a bike you buy off the shelves at Walmart or your local bike shop. It's not assembled. You are on the hook for assembling it. Now, I'm not very, very handy. It took me approximately 90 minutes start to finish to unbox it, make sure it was installed and assembled correctly, and make sure everything was aligned and sitting a proper form. A few issues that I encountered when doing the assembly. Number one, the brake handles, which should be in front of the handlebars, were actually located on the top of the handlebars. I didn't actually notice this because, of course, I'm much larger for this bike. So when I went to kind of get myself over the seat and pretend that I was riding the bike, they kind of felt fine. I didn't really notice it. But obviously, once my wife took one look at it, she's much smarter than I am. She's like, hey, these brake handles aren't where they should be. So it was a quick fix, nothing big. Another issue was that the front tire was flat. I didn't think anything of it. I simply thought that it was shipped flat for shipping purposes. I inflated it only to find that it did not hold air overnight. That's one of the nice things about dealing with Scwinn. I called them up, and within 5 business days, they had shipped me a whole new tire, which did work, so that wasn't a problem. But again, that's another good reason you go with the bigger named company or a well-named company, a well-known company, is that when problems do arise, you don't have to try to fight to find customer service. The number's available, and customer service is usually pretty good, all things considered. Now, this bike is nice in that it has an adjustable handles, it has adjustable seats. They have quick connects for both, so you don't actually have to get your tools out to adjust the height for the handlebars and for the seat. Also, the training wheels are adjustable. Now, when I assembled this initially, I made sure that both of the training wheels were like just glued to the floor because, of course, my son has never ridden a bike. As he gets used to riding the bike, I will then be able to adjust the training wheels so that they are off the ground just a little bit. And then, of course, once he gets really good, we'll raise them up as high as they can go, and hopefully eventually over time just take them off entirely. That's another thing I liked about this bike, is that there's transitions in this bike. There's room for him to not only grow in height, but also in terms of how he is able to manage the bike himself. You know, once he gets good and doesn't need the training wheels, we can simply take him off and he's got a full-fledged bike. As far as weight of the bike, I will say it is a heavy bike for its size. Obviously, again, you're spending $150 or you're spending, a smaller amount of money than the really expensive bikes, you're going to get a heavier frame. I don't necessarily think that's an issue for him or for me because, of course, he's really not going to be picking up the bike and carrying it anywhere. And even though it is relatively heavy for its size, I'm still able to pick it up and carry it without any issues. One of the things that I did think was a little bit on the chintzy side with regards to this bike was the brake pads. I had a real tough time trying to line them up and making sure that they sit correctly so that they were just off of the brake. When I first installed them, they weren't aligned evenly, and that the brake pads weren't really closing in on the actual tire frame, which is where you want them. So something to note, obviously with a little bit of effort and alignment, I was able to line them up, but I still think that the brake pads overall are a little bit chintzy. They still work fine. I don't think my son's going to have any issues braking or any concerns in that regard, but just trying to give an honest review, and that's one of the areas I believe that Scwinn probably skimped out, knowing that kids on training wheel bikes don't necessarily get up to massively fast speed.
Is this the present?
Kind of. What's next to it? What is it?
It's a bicycle.
Oh, okay.
That's the box, and what's right next to it, buddy?
A bicycle.
You think that'll fit Daddy?
Is this bicycle for me?
Yes,
Happy birthday, pal.
Happy birthday, Tyler.
I'm going to put the specific Amazon affiliate link to this bike in the description below if you are looking to find it quickly. Amazon has it at 4 out of 5 stars for a rating. I would give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. The reason being, you're getting a lot of great options and details with this bike for only $150. Obviously, you could get a cheaper child's bike, but I think this one has a lot of good features with regards to allowing your child to grow into the bike, being able to adjust the height of the seat and the handlebars quickly, and the training wheels, again, not only do they rise up and down, but you can take them off. And if your son does get older but the bike still remains good, you can simply get bigger tires and have that transition into his next bike without much fanfare, without incurring a very large cost. I've been happy overall. My son has really enjoyed this bike as he's learned to ride the bike. He's already had his first few falls because he took turns a little too hard without displacing his weight correctly, but he's overjoyed in getting out and about on this bike, and I am excited for him to see the progress and see the transition. If you should have any questions regarding the Scwinn Koen boys bicycle, hey, just drop them in the comments below. I'll answer them as quickly as I can. Again, I have put an Amazon affiliate link to this bicycle in the description below if you are interested in this bicycle. If you came this far in the video, hey, do me a favor, give this video a like, hit that subscribe button. As usual, thanks for watching, and don't save anything for the trip back. I am dedicated to helping you dads be great parents to your children and still accomplish your own personal goals. I post tips and tricks to save you dads time, energy, and money. 3 things that are in short supply for every dad out there.